Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the Netflix anime Violet Evergarden. And I really love this anime. I did not expect myself to get as hooked into this anime as I did, because I'd heard about it around, I'd seen the visuals, and I was like, okay, this character design and this story seems pretty interesting. But after I got into it and really got through the whole thing, it's gotten up into be one of my favorites, being like Steins Gate, Violet Evergarden, and then like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I didn't think anything like that could happen for me. I'm like, what? And it's just, I really enjoyed this and thought that it was a very well executed premise with everything around it. So I'm not really going to get into really any spoilers or anything. If there's an interest, I could really do a deeper dive and analysis of it, but I'd prefer to, if you're interested in this anime, definitely go and watch it. And I don't really want to get any spoilers because I don't want to destroy any of the emotional impact that can come from it. So, the basic premise of this is, it centers around Violet Evergarden and this country which has gone, this continent, this has gone through a pretty much World War I kind of war, and the kind of aftermath of that. She was in that war and was severely injured to the point where both of her arms are prosthetic and pretty much auto-male, similar to Full Metal Alchemist, and she's trying to deal with that and also deal with the kind of last words of Major Gilbert and kind of try to understand what emotions are, how she can actually feel emotions and what to do with them. Because up until this point, she's been pretty much used as a weapon in this war. And I really like how they kind of went with that premise and they did it more in an episodic nature. So in most episodes, we're seeing Violet's journey as she deals with writing letters for people, because she becomes an auto-memories doll, and it's essentially like a ghostwriter writing letters for people. And it does a really good job of trying to get the concept of empathy across. I think that's an important concept overall in general, but more so in today's world to understand everybody around us. That we need to try and empathize with people's feelings and emotions, because if we don't, it leads to so much different kind of conflicts. And just seeing her kind of take her baby steps throughout this series until we get to the end and see the kind of culmination of her journey is really well done. Now, I've seen that there's been some issues with the pacing, and I'm like, okay, I can understand people having issues with the pacing, but it's mainly because this is done as a slow burn character development kind of thing, where each episode unlocks a certain facet or kind of brings a new kind of dimension to Violet through these characters that she interacts with. And I have to really say that they do a very good job of Violet's character development throughout, but also around the supporting cast around her and the people that she interacts with. They feel like people and characters that you want to get to know. And in those episodes, you don't get to fully know them, but you get to unlock the interesting aspects of them that the letters kind of require. And that, on top of the beautiful animation and the stellar voice work and music, just really gets this into a very great package. I mean, in one episode, I thought that the stream quality was going down because I'm like, that looks really kind of weird. But then, it's because it was in a dark kind of shadowed kind of place, and then it gets out into this, like, sun is, like, rising and everything in the morning, and it's just, good God, it's just so beautifully well done. I'm talking, like, movie quality for an actual series. And putting that together with the voice acting and the music, just being able to really evoke the emotions that I think that they were trying to capture for those moments really hit home. I mean, it gets nuts, especially around like episode 10. That was a crazy episode because I knew what was going to happen. I pretty much called it throughout, but I still got to the end and I was crying, man. It was just powerful how they were able to 1-2 punch with the reveals that were going on. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just really not that big into kind of like crying sad animes, but I was really surprised at how well this was and how it could evoke those kind of emotions in me. And I was like, this is just awesome. And I'm like, okay, this is really one that I would put into kind of like masterpiece / classic. Now granted, I say those things not to really hyperbole and do away with any kind of faults or flaws in an anime, but despite them, that, okay, the sum of its parts and any kind of weird things that can happen, they're kind of moot. They still get that impact needed. Like, there are certain things at the end that you're like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Now granted, because it goes into kind of some kind of action territories, but it doesn't destroy the overall narrative of it. I'm like, okay, that was kind of weird, but it didn't affect my enjoyment of it. And see, if you're going, oh, this has some action in it, that is not the main focus of this. So if you're looking for an action war kind of just like beat 'em up Dragon Ball kind of thing, this is not that. I would recommend you to not get into it for that. This is a kind of emotional journey, slow journey about writing and kind of like exploring the empathy that we have for people around us, what emotions are, what we want in ourselves, and also to kind of explore that for ourselves through Violet and our own lives. So this anime is really going to stick for me for a while, and I'm really looking forward to getting this on Blu-ray and also the soundtrack. That's the kind of first for me. I mean, I haven't gotten into an anime and been like, you know what, I kind of need the soundtrack for this. Except for when my sister got into Cowboy Bebop, and I'm like, this has a good soundtrack. And then she got it, and I'm like, yeah, I need that. I need that on my MP3 player. But this is an anime that I think I'm going to watch yearly. I never thought I would say that, like, just to revisit it, because I think that there can be other things to, like, be gleaned from it and everything. It's not the deepest one, but just see how it affects me and see what my thoughts are on it afterwards, because I've just finished it recently since it only came out on Netflix on April 5th, but I really enjoyed it. And if you're really into character development and being invested in that, because if you want it to go quicker, I wouldn't recommend it. And if you find yourself being bored, I wouldn't recommend you watching it either. Like, if you get past and you're not really hooked into the characters or the initial premise, I think it would be fine to just stop watching it. Though, if you want to be like, what's this episode 10 about? It really would be of a better impact for you to watch the 9 preceding episodes. But you could also just watch it by itself and be like, oh god. So, I really enjoyed this anime because it just had the highest quality that I've seen in a while of just writing, artwork, and sound and audio for the voices, because I didn't really, now granted I watched it dubbed, but I really didn't have any problem with any of the voice actors. I think they fit very well, and we got a very diverse range so that nobody really sounded too similar. I'm like, okay, who am I listening to now? Or that voice doesn't fit with that character. I see it and I'm like, okay, I hear those voices and I think of those characters now. So, those are my opinions on this anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.